for Foos. Welcome to the History for Foos podcast. Also, I want to congratulate the What's Up Fool podcast on their 500th episode, a milestone. Many podcasts have come and went, but many podcasts have fallen. Like what's the other? Yeah, man, Rodrigo Torres.
Oh yeah.
What else? The gravel pit.
The gravel
pit.
Whoa, why are you dragging the gravel pit into this?
And then what else has fallen? A lot of stuff, but we still keep going, man. Because we knew starting that podcast where it was just somewhere where you couldn't have fun and promote shows and give the audience something more, and we just do it for fun, And I like to be considered a stand-up, not a podcaster. So anyway,
right.
So hopefully one day when they give us that big deal and they go, Felipe, I want you guys to move the show to Sirius Radio, and I'm like, seriously? All right, eh? But anyways, can I send you a list, bro? Oh, never mind. We'll do it next time. Anyways, so yeah, man. Have you been following up on what's going on in the news with I know that P. Diddy was arrested, right, and so many things are coming out.
Oh my God!
You think that what might come out also, because I know that I don't know anything, but I just know about speculations, and I just know by a fact now that I better not be in Kat Williams' stories.
Like if Kat Williams talks about you now.
Kat Williams is a modern day Nostradamus, bro. Like he knows, like he could write the future. Like how he said people laughed about him that he reads like 100 books a month, and 300 books a year, and we were laughing about that. You know what? I really think that's a fact because so far, a lot of the stuff that politicians say they're gonna do when they become president never comes true. But everything that Kat Williams has said and up on that podcast has come to life, and I'm afraid if more stuff comes to life, but he has not lied about anything.
Bro, he did bring up that P. Diddy thing on the...
He goes, I was invited to I turned down 2 P. Diddy parties.
Bro, that's crazy. At that time, though, we were starting to suspect that P. Diddy was up to something.
You were. I didn't know.
I think I wasn't. I just remember people being like, "Oh yeah, that's popping up now because of the one lady." And then soon after, the video popped up where he was beating the crap out of that girl. And
that was a big mistake right there.
And then he put out that apology. And then but again, I knew that they were thinking of indicting him. I remember reading about that. I had no fucking clue though what he was in trouble for. And I loved that time people on TikTok were walking around with microphones at public spaces, and they were like, did Diddy do it? And people would go, yes, absolutely. And then the next question would be, what did he do? And then they would go, I really don't know. And so I had to look it up and comb through it a little bit.
Little did they know that P. Diddy was diddling a lot of dinglings, bro.
Diddling a lot of dinglings.
Even the guy in the corner who wasn't doing the dingling thing, but he saw everything dingling.
He was hiring. So when people say human trafficking, in my mind, I think you're putting people in a container.
Me too.
And shipping them to another.
I learned a lot from P. Diddy's arrest because I didn't know what human trafficking was either. I thought human trafficking was like how I made it to this country.
Right. Yeah. a lot of our ancestors have.
But this is what I know human trafficking is because I read this book called if you want to do a history about it. I read the book called Iceberg Slim, the life and story of a pimp, of a real actual pimp. And you know what?
History of pimp.
Not to go into that change the subject, but when that book was when I was having women problems, like man, I told Brother Woods from the Laugh Factory that I was having women problems. Well, I just told him, man, how you been, man? I don't see you around no more. Oh,
right.
And then this fool goes, man, you need to read this book. And he handed me Iceberg Slim.
No way.
Yeah, so.
And it helped you.
Yeah, but that book is like a pimp manual.
Right.
A pimp manual, bro. Because Iceberg Slim is a pimp because they call him Iceberg because he's not just cool. He's a fucking iceberg.
Ice cold. Dog.
Yeah.
You gotta be ice cold to be a pimp.
So he will talk. He would get advice from other pimps how to pimp his hoes. And one time in the book it says, "Yeah, man, I've been having trouble with these bitches on the track, talking about we're thinking about leaving your ass." And he goes, "Let me." And then the other pimp goes, "Let me word you something on my brother Iceberg. When a woman thinks she's thinking about leaving, that means that bitch be stacking chips behind your back."
Yeah, whoa.
She's been saving
I'm not gonna
up
agree,
money.
but I'm agreeing.
She's been saving up money.
Damn.
So you need to grab that bitch by the throat and make her hand over that money, and then you fucking kick her out with no money. Let me tell you, man, everything she earned was for you.
Damn.
So then Iceberg Slim goes over there, bro, and does everything the other pimp told him to do. He goes, "You want to leave, bitch? Give me your goddamn money." He didn't even strike her. He didn't hit her. "Give me all your money right now." He took all her money.
He did worse.
He goes, you think I got problems? You think I need your hoe? You think these are just my other hoes? I got hoes in Cleveland running for me. I got hoes. He didn't. W was lying. But when a hoe thinks, he goes, when a hoe thinks that, but it's affecting. Oh yeah. So then, man, he kicked her out, man, and then like by the time he took everything out, she was begging to stay, bro.
I'm reading this book
regardless.
He was
begging. She was begging to stay.
Wow.
So man, you need to control a pimp's mind. Anybody can control a woman, but a pimp can control a woman's mind.
Wow. Yeah.
So the whole book is a manual of pimping, right?
I remember. Do you remember that?
So,
go ahead.
So the point I was saying is I already forgot. So
we were talking about Iceberg Slim, but we were talking about P. Diddy for a minute. But I am fascinated by this.
So what I learned about trafficking was that when they got Iceberg Slim got locked up, it was because he took a woman who was 16, whereas legally to have sex with a 16-year-old with consent,
okay,
to a state where she's a minor. So that's where the traffic comes in. So now that he's a pimp, every time he takes one of his hoes to another state, he's human trafficking.
That's
them.
trafficking.
Yeah, that's what it means. Every time you kidnap somebody for sex and you take them to another state at their will, is human trafficking, which is an added charge to kidnapping, which is 25 years to life. So they can't get you for kidnapping, they'll get you for human trafficking. Also paying for sex across state line.
Because that's what they're getting Diddy for, is that he was hiring dude hookers to be part of his freak out. What was
Maricon.
Freak off.
Freak offs.
Freak off. So he was hiring,
I was never invited.
He wasn't his dude, because the argument is, and I kind of, here's the thing, I'm not sympathizing at all with P.
That's
Diddy,
funny, man.
but I get the argument that they were like, everybody there was consenting. It's like he hired dudes to come and fuck with him, bro. And then he had like 1,000 bottles of like baby oil, and they had to get IVs.
I know a lot of. I work with comedians that have a lot of oil too, bro, but it's for their skin.
Okay, yeah,
Like baby oil,
right.
whatever that thing is.
How much though? Like, do they have at home? This is the thing.
Like
to me.
Toby Higgs, the comedian,
He loves baby oil.
he makes his own oil, bro.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
swear to God, dog. He been having his own tubes, and he mixes like baby oil, which is baby oil,
Does he sell it?
with lotion, and he makes them together like this. And he putting it on before the show, getting ready. Dog.
Oh, so he makes his own concoction.
Yeah.
No shit.
But P. Diddy probably has a lot of baby oil, man, because, let me tell you, man. Man, I have to explain for the squares out there.
Okay.
And I was talking with this, I don't want to name drop, but I was talking to this with Paul Rodriguez. People who don't understand the baby oil and all the freak off and everything that happens never partied with a guy that can stay up for 5 days straight.
Straight up, bro.
When you party with somebody 5 days straight and you just cheerleading there, and somebody tells me, Felipe, I want you to put on some stockings like Oscar de la Hoya and start punching the hell out of the bouncer's stomach. And I said, P. Diddy, for you and that big bump, all right.
Anything, dog.
But see, the people never been in that situation where and also it's sad that when you're in a situation like this. Anyways, man, that's my boy right there, man. Look
at my boy right there, dude.
He already acknowledged that. We don't have to put a photo up, eh?
There's nothing wrong with his preference in clothing.
It doesn't matter, bro. I've done that for Halloween, bro, and then left it on to Thanksgiving. But that's another story.
Drugs
bro.
will do that.
But yeah, they got him for human trafficking, and I think, man, also, and this is what you gotta understand, when they raided his house, you know, like sometimes you raid somebody, you start snatching fools, you arrest them, right? Like
right.
When you do a drug bust,
right?
You arrest people and you go for you find cash and you go for the drugs. But in his situation, they went straight to all the laptops, all the computers, all the phones, everything, bro. And some other guy and another page said that P. Diddy, this is not what Felipe Esparza or the History for Foos podcast saying, but this is what this other person said on the podcast. He said that P. Diddy is like a modern day, what is that leader of the FBI back in the day?
Oh, Hoover.
P. Diddy is a modern day Herbert Hoover.
Get the fuck out of
without
here.
Without the politics, and he pretty much recorded everything that ever happened in his house. And he has pictures of people doing so many outrageous things that they could like really mess with people's political group. And he has big executives in there, bro, billionaires.
Dang,
put it this way, man.
Think about this.
It's like Epstein brought, it's like P. Diddy brought the Epstein Island to
Manhattan.
To Long Island, bro.
Or Long Island. To P. Diddy Steen, dude. Holy.
Yeah, man. But think about it, man. They went straight for all that stuff, bro. They didn't go after no drugs. There were no drugs. They didn't go after no guns. There were no guns. They just went after and then like the dildos and that.
Right.
That's just to distract, and the oil. That's just to distract you, like. Because if you're thinking about oil, like you're like, what the fuck is the oil? And then you keep talking about the oil. He took oil, but that's just to distract you from the fact that
he took. He set up the oil to distract us?
No, bro. Oh. But that's the way the media can take it, of course.
Right, yeah.
And then we could just fuck with the fucking files that he has. That's where the people who are on those files in those videos can't run.
Right. Yeah, because there's a lot.
So if they would have put the news, man, we got files on Willie Barcena here, Rene Vaca.
Damn.
We got Paul Rodriguez here, man, with after open surgery.
They got Ken Flores all oiled up.
All oiled up and shit.
Yeah, bro.
You know, they say the people they got in these files, they're gonna say, man, we found more oil than the Exxon Valdez in this motherfucker.
I was as fascinated as everybody else was because of the way he set it up. Like, did you see the picture that they show of the oil, like in his bathroom or something? They show these like cops in the background. Can you look up the baby oil picture real quick?
Okay, man. Getting back to partying for 5 days straight. After a while, man, you're gonna get bored and you're gonna say, man, where's Missy Elliott's outfit? And then you're going to get those trash bags and you're going to play slip inside with a bunch of naked men.
Is that you think what's going on? With the...
Bro, but you never been to a oil wrestling?
No. Well, I've seen like it on
I've
TV.
been to one, bro.
Oh, wow.
Back in the days in Hollywood, they used to have female mud wrestling and oil wrestling. And they would get like a 5 foot by 6 feet baby sized pool.
Right.
And put plastic bags in it. And put it all with oil, and then the lady they'll wrestle butt naked.
Why don't they do that anymore?
Bro, people got arrested for that. What are you talking about?
I know.
You could do it yourself, but you're gonna need a lot of baby oil, which is why they have a lot of baby oil.
Yeah, that's why you got to have 1,000 bottles.
You gotta, you pour them all in that little baby pool with plastic, and then and then everybody slips and slides into each other like a naked twister.
It makes sense now. Because I'm like, why do you have it all out? Like,
whoa, that's not real.
Why do you? That's a real picture. I remember thinking that's not a real picture. That's a leaked photo from the FBI, bro.
I don't think so, man.
Yes, and
it cannot be real.
It is. And the thing is like, my question is, why wouldn't you just keep it in boxes until you need it? Like, but look at all the clothes strewn about. But like, dude, look, and then he has different sizes as well.
I tell you who was not at that party, bro. Ashley Larry.
Ashley Larry was not.
Because Ashley would have been gone.
Yeah, bro. He would have
or Edwin, bro.
Man, what a scandal. What a scandal. Speaking of scandals.
But you know what's funny, man, is that during all these parties were going down in his house, right?
Right.
So you know that, like, there must have been like some vendors they hired for the party. Hey man, we're gonna need like 5,000 pounds of ice. Okay, we got it, P. Diddy. We're gonna need like 5,000 bottles of Perrion. We're gonna need like 80 wings in boxes from KFC. We're gonna need also some 7-Up, some Sprite, some cognac, 10,000 gallons of oil. We're gonna need some bitches. And what was that? What was that? Did it? What was that? Hold on. Come back again. You said you wanted I want 80 wings, right? 80 wings in a box.
Get the wings.
And the wings, and I want 7 Sprite, I want cognac, 10 gallons of baby oil, and plastic bags. And that dude must have been, hold on, man. Really, man? This motherfucker think I work for Johnson & Johnson and shit.
Bro, that is so crazy, dude.
Damn, bro.
It's like, what? Yeah, exactly. Who's the person who facilitated the order? And what were they thinking when they hung up? They're like, P. Diddy just ordered 10,000 bottles of baby oil.
I bet they must have told that fool, N-word, you lying. Or they probably told him.
What if it was a mistake and he just kept it? He's like, I'm P. Diddy, I'm rich. I ordered 10 bottles of baby oil. They sent me 10,000.
Come on, man. You know when they got that, when they wired that money, it must have been oily.
Oh, man.
What would they find, bro, if they were like, just say, if you had a woman over back in the days, what would they find in your room? Just say a woman's in your door and you go to her partying.
Okay.
What would they find in your room?
In my room, there would be a bong. There would definitely be, oh man, yeah, there would be a bunch of porn underneath the mattress. And then some KY jelly and probably that's it. I mean,
okay, see, you are working with one person.
Right.
So you have enough oil just for one person.
Right.
But this guy has a year's supply, bro.
A year's supply at least, bro. 1,000 bottles. Look at like that. Those were like thousands of bottles right there. Like, have you ever had a bottle of baby oil in your house?
Bro, I got hit with a bottle of olive oil in the elbow.
Okay, but have you ever had a bottle of baby oil in the house? Yes, right? Yes. All of us have had a bottle of baby oil in our house. Do you remember when you ran out of baby oil and you had to go get more baby oil?
Never.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This motherfucker has 10,000 bottles of baby oil and I've never run out of one bottle, dude. What are you doing with this? Where is this going? Like, how much absorption is happening here? Like, I'm just curious about the baby oil. Do what you got to do, P. Diddy. You want to rent people? Rent people. I'm not even mad at you, bro. But just let me know what you're doing with all that baby oil. I'm dying to know.
Yeah, man. What are you dying to know?
To know what he does with the baby oil.
Told you, bro, they're playing slip and slide, mud wrestling.
Yeah, I gathered
oil
that.
wrestling.
The thing is, though, is it sounds, because here's the thing.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Who's ratting him out with this party? If this party is consensual people, it sounds
there's
like
a bunch of rappers out there, bro.
Bro, that's the thing, is there's somebody going after him. The question is did we know did he do it? But did
and
he
he's a
do
billionaire,
it and is
right?
it bad? Huh?
He's a billionaire, right?
He's a billionaire, bro. He owns jets and shit. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's like a high up there millionaire.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Everybody's talking about it, huh?
Right now, that's the thing everybody's talking about. That's the scandal, which is why we're here today, because we have a scandal that we're talking about as well.
And it's on right now on Hulu, man.
Yeah. Have you seen
Aaron Hernandez, who's that?
Have you seen the show yet?
Bro, he was born November 6, 1989.
Okay.
And he's old enough to be my son.
Yeah. Yeah, he's old.
But his father's way older than me, bro. But
right.
like I had sons when I was a kid. Now think about it, bro. Like he's old enough to be my son, big ass fool like that.
Easily.
I saw the documentary that came out on him. I don't know which one it was, the Aaron Hernandez story on Netflix.
Right.
I saw that one, and then there's a new one now on Hulu.
So I just got done watching the documentary on Netflix today.
And I didn't know a lot of things and also, man, true story. I was working the Wilbur Theater in Boston, in Massachusetts, and when I was hanging out there, doing my thing at the parking lot with the employees and security guards of the Wilbur Theater, those fools told me that that they pointed at the club where what's his name, Aaron Hernandez, shot those three guys.
I was with you that night, I think.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even paying attention to that story because at the time, I knew who Aaron Hernandez was because, I mean, it was hard to ignore when it happened that it was a football player who committed murder.
I didn't know that.
But that was it. That's all I knew. That is all I knew, bro. And I didn't care because I'm not into sports. So I was like...
I didn't know that him and Tim Tebow played together.
Him and Tim Tebow played together.
And Tim Tebow was a Christian,
and Tim
bro.
Tebow was a huge influence on him. When Tim Tebow would wear the John 3:16 on his eye, Aaron
Hernandez would wear 666.
Well, there's a haunting end to this whole story that goes back to John 3:16. But we'll talk about that later. But I mean,
yeah. So what did you find out?
So, okay, man. This kid's growing up in Bristol, Connecticut. He's like me or you, bro. He comes from working class people. His dad was this kind of a guy who was caught up in the wrong crowd, but he was also a really good football player. He got a scholarship to University to Connecticut. Him and his brother went off to University to Connecticut to play. Both of them got into trouble. They got kicked out, and then he came back, and then he started working as a janitor, married this woman named Terry, had two boys, DJ, which is Aaron's older brother, and Aaron himself. Now, the documentary, or the movie that's on right now on Hulu, I started to watch it at the same time that I started to read up on this, and there's some slight inaccuracy, so I stopped watching it because
Did you put on that? They gotta make it like story. They gotta make a real story into a story that can flow in a script.
I guess, bro, but you don't really need to because this is all there, and it's all there. They made it a little too salacious, like they made the dad seem like he was a lot tougher than he was, and the dad was tough. The dad was definitely like, hey, I need you to work hard, and then it was like things like, bro, it was things they didn't need to do, like in the TV show when the mom confronts his cousin for fucking her husband. That happens in a basketball game. That actually happened at one of his football games, and the dad had already passed. Like it was the dad. It was the opposite of each one though. But the dad knew about it already, dude. But the dad had died almost like right after he had found out that she was cheating on him. And this all leads into the story because like this is what fucks this kid up.
Who's cheating on who?
So the mom, Aaron Hernandez's mom, was sleeping with Aaron Hernandez's cousin's husband, and Aaron. This is the cousin that Aaron Hernandez is close with, and stays close with him until she passes away, and she takes him in after the dad dies. Aaron feels betrayed when he finds out that his mom is is fucking around, and then after the dad dies, she makes it almost public, like right away. So imagine, dude, your dad is your fucking world. Your dad is everything to you, and this isn't like the Menendez story, which I think this TV show tried to create. This is a kid who loves his dad, and his dad is trying to do the best by him. Now, his dad is putting a little too much pressure on him. His dad wants him to go to University of Connecticut, makes him promise. The brother goes to University of Connecticut, and again, the show makes it seem like the brother went on the contingent that Aaron would show up and they would play together. That is not at all the case. The brother decided to go to University of Connecticut. Their fucking dog was named Yukon. Of course they're going to go.
Because they played together all through high school, right?
They played a year or two in high school, but the brother's 2 years ahead of him. So when his brother goes off the brother's a year ahead of him. I'm sorry. So they played 2 years together in high school. So, but that was the thing too, is Aaron was varsity at fucking 14 years old. The minute he came into high school, he was a varsity football player. We're talking about one of the most like perfect specimens in sports, according to the books that I read. And he was given the largest signing bonus in the NFL. He was given a $40 million contract after 1 year of playing for $250,000. His numbers excelled more than anybody else. He was one of the fastest human beings on the planet. He was quick in the way that he could play these like positions of like backs where, you know, you're like blocking and stuff, but he was also able to like run and catch, and he was really fast, and he played basketball really well. He played baseball really well. He was like the Bo Jackson of like that era, but I don't know if I want to say better, but according to these books, they made this sound like one of the most physically sound individuals I've ever heard of.
Do you think that the person that, you know, I guess when I was watching the documentary on Aaron Hernandez on CNN, they do evaluations on players, like,
oh yes,
they don't want a murderer on the show, on the NFL.
Well, they don't want someone who, like a gang member,
to later on to he retires.
Sure.
You know? They don't want you to do anything on the field. They want you to do all your battle on the field. Whatever, man.
Right.
So because they're supposed to do psychological evaluation, like because let me tell you something, man. I play Madden. I haven't played Madden since Madden 2020, right?
Right.
But I played Madden since 2004. And I remember when Madden became a franchise. I was playing Madden franchise.
Yeah.
And in Madden franchise, if you don't remember, you're in charge of player development. You're in charge of
right.
all the food. You're in charge of the whole stadium. You're buying uniforms. Right. And when you're making your own, and also on franchise, you got to make your own player, right? And when you make your own player, you could pick, you just say there's a random player, right? And you pick, and they'll tell you right there, man. Oh, he comes from two parents, and there's a psychological thing on them.
They
right?
do a side,
and it was on Madden, right?
Right.
Like, and I knew, right. One of them was like, oh man. His grandfather was in a psycho ward. Oh, can't have this player, man.
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
Well, so they have a thing called Pro Day.
Yeah. So that was on Madden. That's when I learned about that on Madden.
And can you imagine in real life?
How to let this guy through?
Right. Well,
he punched somebody in Florida State.
That's how good he was. So he not only we're not even getting to the beginning of this stuff. So he goes. So he does really well in high school. He goes off to UF. University of Florida.
Gators.
And
can I tell you something about the University of Florida Gators?
Yeah.
They got in trouble a while back and for doing like paying off players to be in their team and all that.
Yes.
When I was in Florida, some dude told me that no man, they used to recruit guys like this. They'll get a guy from somewhere, and they'll take him in a yacht, and inside the yacht there'll be like a bunch of naked bitches, dog.
Right.
And a contract.
Yeah.
And we're gonna buy your mom a house, and we're gonna give your dad a job.
Yeah.
At this factory.
I don't doubt it, bro.
But that was back in the day before they were checking stuff. But imagine, bro, you show up on a yacht, you're there with somebody who looks like fucking Tommy T.
Bristol, Connecticut is not the average Connecticut town. It's a tough place, or at least where Aaron grew up. And so he's like really poor, right?
I thought he was rich.
And you go, no, his parents were like
Middle class.
very middle class, lower middle class. His dad was a janitor, and his mom was a teacher who got in trouble for running numbers. I can't remember, but anyway, so he goes off to University of Florida. He goes early. He doesn't graduate. He's 17. He goes right after his dad dies. And his mom gets caught cheating. Yeah. And so like, and he's 17 years old. And that's the thing is when you talk about pro day, the reason why the Patriots took him was because he excelled in everything. Everything was like that was graded on a scale of 10 was like 8, 9 and above. And then his maturity was down to a 1. And that's why he would have been first draft picked in the NFL had he not had those problems, but he was fourth. But going back to when he gets to University of Florida, right away he starts to mix in, and they go back all the way. I mean, even the college understands like, okay, this kid comes from a dark past, so he starts hanging out with Tim Tebow and stuff. But he takes on roommates, these two guys, Marquise Pouncey and Mike Pouncey, the Pouncey twins. I think Marquise ended up playing professionally. And these guys are kind of troublemakers themselves. They all go out to a nightclub and they're partying, and one of the Marquise twins gets their chain took, and they start to get into it with these 3 guys. They ended up finding out that the 3 guys didn't take the chain, that somebody else took the chain, but they kind of patch it up. If this story is true, because this story, Aaron didn't get convicted for this and didn't even get, he got released as a suspect, but someone walked up to this guy's car afterwards in traffic, and one of the guys shot says it was Aaron. One of the guys that didn't get shot says it was Aaron, but the 2 guys that did get shot, one can't remember, and the other one's half his brain is missing, so he can't really explain who did it. But someone walked up and fired 2 shots into the car and then took off running before anybody could recognize them. And Aaron was brought up as a person of interest, and this is kind of the first incident and run-in with law enforcement. Florida? This is in the University of Florida. At this same time, though, the University of Florida has the most students in a year to ever get in trouble with the law. So, you know, there's already a track record for this kid getting in trouble. He's kind of got a little bit of an attitude. You know, one of the things that we didn't mention, and I can't tell if this is true or not. This is the one thing that I tried to look up, but there's not a lot of evidence of this until afterwards. He was already having head trauma and concussions from the very beginning. And the rumor is that the doctors told him in high school, you can't play anymore.
No way.
And he continued to play. And, you know, when you know, we'll talk about CTE a little later, which is a type of brain trauma that a lot of guys suffer from that play football or are boxers. It's what killed Junior Seau. It's caused a lot of people to commit suicide or act erratic or crazy. And when they autopsied Aaron's brain, he had the worst trauma that they've ever been able to record. So, you know, and you've got these like cells in your brain. The middle part of your brain should be about that big. You know, maybe in like small half-inch. His were this large. They were like super. Yep, there it is right there. So if you look at Aaron's on the right and then the average 27-year-old brain on the left, that's how much trauma he was enduring. So like, man, this guy, like, so it's like, I'm not saying this is an excuse for his violent behavior, but this gives you an idea of like
that's his brain? That's
his brain. That's actually his brain right there.
You show my brain on drugs?
That's me right there, yeah. So yeah, man, this started already early on, and now you're talking about a guy that gets, drafted into the NFL, and even then, you know, there's a double murder that he committed, that he was tried for. I don't know if you can't say he committed it unless he was like convicted for it, which he wasn't. But the evidence that supports that he did it is pretty strong.
Which one?
It's the one where he's at a nightclub. He bumps into these two guys.
That's the one by the Wilbur Theater.
Is that the one that they were talking about? Okay, bro. That story is crazy because this shows you how fucked up this guy is. Because he's partying, right? This is not even his shirt. He borrows the shirt from his homie. And the guy, and they're partying, and these two other guys, these two Caribbean dudes are hanging out, and the 4 Caribbean dudes are hanging out. One of them spills a drink on him while they're dancing. Aaron gets pissed, tries to fight him. His homie, this guy named Alexander Bradley, tries to stop him from fighting. So he drags him outside. Hell tells him dude, you gotta chill, bro. Let's just go to another fucking place. They go to the other place. Aaron sees these 2 Caribbean dudes walk in, which are not the same dudes that fucking spilled the drink on him. And he's like, look, they're fucking following me, bro. They're fuck those guys, dude. And he starts to get worked up. And again, Bradley tries to take him down a notch and chill him out. So they leave and they get in the car. And then they see the original guys that they had seen at the club, who stayed at the club that they first met the whole night.
Yeah.
The guys that spilled the drink on him. They didn't even go to the second club, but now they're leaving the parking garage. He fucking follows them, pulls up next to him, and unloads a fucking .357 revolver into him. Kills the 2 drivers in the front, and then takes off.
The ones that the security guard at the Wilbur Theater, they said that he was driving around looking for them around the club.
Yeah, he was. He was driving around because he saw him leave, and then he pulls. Bro, what's even crazier is that there's a nightclub nearby where the 2 guys that were running that club were in a similar looking car. And he pulls up next to them and starts yelling into their car. And they're like, yo, what the fuck? We don't even... And then he stops, realizes it's not them, and then takes off.
But they're the bump.
Yep.
The guy, on a CNN video, on a CNN thing I saw, he said that he got mad because that guy didn't say sorry, and he laughed.
Well, yeah. I mean, there you go, dude. Instigation.
Willie would have done something.
Willie would have beat the fuck out of that guy. Well, I mean...
He would have got a headbutt right there, bro.
This is the thing with Aaron Hernandez, is I feel like we all know an Aaron Hernandez in our life, and I feel like
we know a lot of poor Aaron Hernandez.
A lot of poor Aaron Hernandez is. This guy's off the chain, though, so he shoots those guys, and then he takes off. And then, this is the dumbest criminal in the world as well. This is the other thing, bro.
Well, how you would have done it?
I wouldn't have done it. I would not. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it, but I would have gotten rid of the vehicle. I would have drove that into the ocean or something. And then I would have gotten rid of the murder weapon, which is... And then I would have gotten rid of the clothes.
He would have did the Boston Tea Party with that car, right? Where are you dumping, bro? I've been in Boston. There's 2 places you could dump a car in the ocean over there.
Maybe not.
Actually, bro, you could have dumped in that big in that construction site they have going on. The big hole.
The big hole? Dig. The big dig? Maybe, dude. He kept it, though. He kept the car. He kept the clothes that he was in. And he put that in a bag in the car. And then he kept the gun. And then he hid it at his cousin's house. The one that had the husband that was cheating.
You think if he would have never had home security, he would have got away with it?
That's the other thing, right? Is that he got caught by his own home security.
Yeah, makes you think, man, is the home security is for protecting from other people or to lock yourself up like Minority Report?
Well, he was paranoid for a good reason. When he shot those 2 guys.
He got a $40 million contract, huh?
Well, he had a $40 million contract.
Who shoots people with a $40 million
Oh, that's the thing, is we're all wondering
if
what
somebody would have
here.
spilled drink on me and I had $40 million, I would have took my shirt off and I said, man, let me buy another drink.
Right. You would do that.
I would have bought up the whole bar. I would have bought up the whole bar.
Right.
And have those guys kicked out. I would have said, man, I'm buying the whole bar. Kick out the Caribbeans. I mean, you want to be badass.
The History for Fools podcast does not support the opinions of Felipe right now. We can't kick out the Caribbeans, dude. But
spilling his drink.
Well, it happens. I've been out and I've bumped into people with drinks. And I've never gotten upset before.
Yeah, but you never bumped into a guy 7'9", bro.
What would you do?
He's huge, bro. How big is, what's his name?
Aaron Hernandez, he's 6'3".
And the guy that bumped into him was 5'5"? Like
yeah,
Rizzo?
he's like a little guy. He wasn't a very big guy.
Said, sorry, Jolly Green Giant.
Right. He probably was being a dick about it.
So that friend that he had with him, that's the one that Aaron shot in the eye?
They shot him in the face. Because...
which was the one that hit a bunch of sisters and he played football?
That's the one. So this is the final death that gets Aaron caught. So
Why him?
Well, that's the question. Is that's the mystery of all this, and I think that's what makes it a controversy.
Did he know anything about the other murder?
Because nobody has any clue why he killed You're talking about Odin Lewis,
yeah,
and that's his wife's
brother,
sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, and he played football also for the.
He played for lower
minor leagues.
Like he played for the minor leagues. He played for the Boston Bandits. And fucking nobody knows why he shot him. They got along great. He rolled his blunts for him. At first, like him and Aaron kind of rubbed each other the wrong way, but they started to get along and he started to hang out. And this is after he shoots his homie, man. So first of all, after the Caribbeans get shot, he gets paranoid and he shoots his fucking friend in the face and he pushes him out the door and takes off thinking he's left him for dead. His friend calls him a day later and says, "I know what you did, motherfucker. And I'm coming for you." And this is why he starts to get like paranoid. He goes to Bill Belichick and he's like, "You need to trade me because people are trying to kill me." And, you know, Bill's like, "I can move you to California for training, but there's no way the Patriots are going to trade you." So like he starts to get paranoid. Meanwhile, he's making friends with his fiance's, I guess, sister's husband or boyfriend, who is Odin Lewis. And they start to hang out. They start to bullshit and party together. They become part of this little crew that they have. Aaron Hernandez has this little hideaway apartment that he goes to and they get high and they party. Dude, and again, there's no real sexual misconduct here. It's not like he's out there fucking around. There's a gay element to this story as well, which we could talk about in a minute. But there's not really like a lot of him like, you know, doing P. Diddy type stuff. It's just him going off and smoking weed away from his daughter. What people are baffled by is why did he kill Odin Lewis? And there's a few theories. One is that Odin caught him cheating with another girl. Another theory is that they had a disagreement and Aaron just took it the wrong way. And then the theory that everybody really likes that I don't think is true. And I think that there was homosexuality involved in this, but I don't think that's why Odin Lewis got shot. But it's that Odin Lewis found out that Aaron Hernandez was bisexual and that's why he ended up killing that guy. But nobody really knows why. And if you want to talk about any of the homosexual stuff, it's just that there was suspicion all throughout.
Since high school, right?
Since high school.
That one guy in Netflix?
Yeah, the quarterback that he played with in high school was his best friend, but also that guy came out later and said, "No, we fucked a lot. Or we sucked each other's dicks or whatever." I don't know.
He said it like that?
I don't know if he said it like that, but he did tell his dad because his dad was like, "Aaron's not a homosexual." Because because this had come out. So the end of this story is that the homosexual aspect comes out on the news radio one day, and it goes kind of viral that he
it went for reals?
Yeah. And so the next day Aaron hangs himself. So people believe that's one of the reasons, and there's also another mystery. Why did Aaron hang himself in prison overall?
I think because if he were to hang himself, his daughter will be able to get the $40 million.
This is the twist.
What happened? Did he get it? Did she get it?
Well, okay, so you're talking about the abatement law, right? So there's an abatement law that means when in the state of Massachusetts, when you appeal your case for something like murder and you die during the appealment process because you were dead and weren't given a chance to stand up for yourself in your appealment process, you were automatically deemed innocent, which was a real law. And the one thing, and so there's a letter to Hernandez's wife where he's talking about all that, and he tells her, guess what? You're rich now. And so they believe that's why Aaron had killed himself. But what they didn't explain to Aaron is that eventually, like, there's no way that the Patriots are just going to let go of $40 million like that. You're going to have to fight that out in court. You're going to have to hire lawyers and all that stuff. But what ended up happening is that Odin Lewis's mom was a big part of this movement that repealed the abatement law. And so when that happened, when they repealed that abatement law, which is archaic, like 1800s law, Aaron Hernandez's conviction was reinstated. So they didn't get the $40 million. Nobody got any fucking money. And this guy just ended up killing himself for pretty much nothing. But I don't think it had anything to do with the gay stuff. I think he was gay. I think he was bisexual. But according to the quarterback that he was having relations with, he was like, look, man, Aaron was never ashamed of his homosexual or of his behavior. He just had to hide it because of
his dad.
Well, all the publicity that he was getting in football would have gone away if they found out that he was gay. But Aaron didn't hide it. His wife didn't seem to be surprised by it, and also didn't seem to be bothered by it.
He was cut immediately as when he was arrested, huh? Like maybe the police contact the owner of the Patriot and told him, listen, man, we got all this evidence on this.
Right away, bro.
They wouldn't have just cut him right away.
Did you see that video where they follow him to the stadium and they kick him out of the stadium?
No. What happened,
So
bro?
there's a helicopter video that follows his car like OJ style. The day
he didn't know he was gonna be arrested, huh?
The day of the indictment, he finds out he's gonna get arrested. They haven't.
When he finds out,
they haven't put out the warrant yet, but they name him a suspect. They follow his car all the way to the stadium, and then they show him walking up to the front of the stadium, and then almost immediately they show him being escorted back by security to his car.
He never made it inside.
Never made it inside. Never got to talk to Bill Belichick.
Never got my shoes out the locker.
Big Bill Belichick had a chance to talk to him about it though earlier, and he had told Bill, and that's the thing is that he had lied, and that's where it kind of fucked him in court, because when Bill testified, that's when they found out that he was a liar.
Who's a liar? That
Aaron was a liar because he had told Bill that he was at a club during the time that the murders happened, and they put that's when the prosecution had pointed out, if he had gone to Bill Belichick at the time that he said he'd gone to Bill Belichick and said, I was at a club when these murders happened, that means he knew when the murders happened. But at that time, nobody had told when the murders had happened. Only the police knew.
Yeah.
So Bill Belichick's testimony is what pushed was what they think pushed the jury over to a guilty verdict, because this was all this whole case had no physical evidence, no timeline evidence. It was all circumstantial evidence, but it was strong. It was strong evidence. You know, the victim at one point reaches out to his girlfriend before he gets in the car that night and says, "Just so you know, I'm with NFL tonight."
Yeah.
And then there's also, dude, this motherfucking idiot, bro, takes this car, shoots this guy in the back in his car, and then fucking, because he's trying to cover up the rental because it's his rental car, he fucking drives the car back to the rental agency and exchanges it for another car like there's not going to be a record of that. Even crazier is when he's at the rental agency, he offers blue raspberry Hubba Bubba to the agent at the desk. And she's like, "You're a grown man and you chew Hubba Bubba?" And they kind of laugh at it. Later on, she's cleaning out the car and she's pissed because there's blue raspberry Hubba Bubba in the carpet. And so she takes a piece of paper that has his child's drawing, which also is used for evidence, scoops up the blue Hubba Bubba that has his DNA in it, and then sees a bullet casing from one of the bullets that he shot Odin Lewis in the back of the head with, scoops up the bullet with the child's drawing and the gum and throws it in the trash. So when the cops get there, they're like, she does the thing, but they start to leave and she goes, "Oh, wait a minute. I picked up a bullet in the car with
Who did?
with the agent at the rental agency.
Yeah.
And so she's like, in the dumpster, there's bubble gum wrapped with a child's drawing with a bullet casing, which were all matched to him. Child drawing was the same as his other child's drawing. The Hubba Bubba had his fucking DNA in it, and the fucking round from the 45 that he shot the victim with matched the other fucking bullets from the gun.
Damn.
And that was all, bro. Even crazier is like when he tries to hide his phone, he pulls up into the fucking parking lot at the police station with the cops, with his lawyers. And before he gets out, he turns around, he takes his phone out, and he switches phones with the lawyer on camera in the parking lot at the police station.
Damn.
So like this guy didn't do anything to cover anything up. You know, the other thing is
I wanted to get caught.
What I feel like he wanted to get caught.
Is he really a blood or lies too?
What's that? Yeah, he was they suspect he was a suspected member of the Bloods gang. I think
From where though? What city?
From Bristol.
Florida?
No, it was Bristol. It was in Bristol, Connecticut. I can't remember the name of the gang. But he has a tattoo of the gang. But I think he wanted to get caught, like you said.
You think it was just like somebody like, you know, like OJ, right?
Right.
OJ from high school, he got away with a lot of stuff.
Right.
A lot of stuff. Like I remember him getting pulled over for something in a movie, right? And then, like, oh, you OJ Simpson? Yeah, and they let him go.
Right.
So these people think they're gonna get away with everything.
I think he thought that, but
they covered up every bad stuff he did up to now, right?
Right. I think he definitely did that because there's reports of him. There's reports of him pissing in the street. What does that mean? I don't even know. I can't remember the name of the Bloods gang that he was in. I should have wrote that down, but I didn't. But there's a phone call in one of the documentaries that he has with his mom. And he talks about how much he likes being in his cell, that he likes looking at his cell when he cleans it. I honestly, man, I think that he wanted to go to prison. I think he liked it. I think he didn't, because there's another part where he's talking to his mom and he goes, I feel more free than I feel out there. Like I had all these things, but they didn't mean anything to me. And in here, it's like, I could be me. And it's like, dude, I wonder like, if he was like that Bronson guy, just wanted to be like locked up or something, man.
He was a good football player, though, right?
An amazing football player, like exceptional.
I didn't even know he was catching. I thought he was when I've seen him play a bunch of times, and also played with him on Madden. And the last time I played Madden is the last time he appeared on Madden.
That's right. They took him off.
I have that Madden.
Do you have that Madden? That's probably worth money. Because when that happened,
was he in the cover at one time?
I don't know if he was on the cover. And there's that whole Madden cover thing where, like, for a while, all the people on the cover of Madden were dying. Which might have been one of the cases.
Michael Vick was on one too. He got in trouble.
Right, Michael Vick was on when he got in trouble. He. From what I was reading, and I don't know and I know the comment section is going to go nuts over this, so please, you guys answer better than I do. But from when I read, this guy was legendary. He was going to be. Oh, he was on the cover. He was going to be legendary. When they talk about what a specimen he was, they mean it scientifically. Like they were like, we've never seen anybody do the things that Aaron Hernandez does. And so it sounded like people and there were many records that he broke. The fact that they gave him the largest signing bonus, the first year they signed him, they offered him $250,000 because they weren't sure about his behavior. After his performance, they gave him a $40 million contract with $1 million signing bonus. Like it was the highest signing bonus in the NFL. So he had to have meant something. Like he was 14 and he was playing varsity. He was he was the best basketball player, best baseball player, and absolutely the best football player in every league that he played in high school. So, I mean, he was definitely someone that was going to be legendary.
There's a lot of ex-NFL players locked up right now.
Oh, there's a ton.
Like some of them are doing a lot of years, huh?
Yeah, what's that one guy that was hiding the body in the trunk? I played for the Ravens. How many NFL players are in prison right now? 1 in every 40 NFL players is arrested each year. In the mid-2000s, NFL arrests were at their highest, which some say might be due to increased media coverage of the internet popularity. According to the NFL Players Arrest Database, 27 NFL players were arrested, charged, or cited for criminal offenses in the last year. 13 of those incidents involved allegations of domestic abuse or violence against women. So I don't mean to laugh. It's just expected. Notable NFL players in prison. Dwayne Goodrich played for the Dallas Cowboys and served a 12.5-year term. Thomas Hollywood Henderson for 4 years, 8 months. Darrell Henley played for the Los Angeles Rams and served a 42-year term.
What?
Darrell Henley played for the Los Angeles Rams.
What position, bro? Quarterback? Wide receiver?
Let's see. Darrell Henley, Los Angeles Rams.
When did he get locked up?
He was Darrell Keith Henley, is the American former professional football player who was a cornerback for the Los Angeles Rams of the National Football League. He played college football for the UCLA Bruins.
With a pro?
I'm going to tell you right now. Consensus All-American honors in 1988. So let's see when he played for the Rams. He played 76 games and amassed 12 interceptions. Where does it say he played for the Rams? 1989 to 1994, he played for the Rams.
Okay.
And he was given a 41-year prison sentence. Jesus, you know what did you see what he did?
What did he do?
41 years for trafficking cocaine. We got Pete Diddy.
How much?
We got Pete Diddy throwing sex parties. And this guy just is only... Oh, wait, no, never mind. There's more. Attempting to murder the judge and witness from the trial by hiring contract killers. See, these guys are idiots, bro. That's the thing, is you play great ball, everybody does your homework for you at college, and then it's like, try not to fuck up when you make it to the NFL and get all this money. Jesus Christ, dude.
History for fools, Aaron Hernandez. That's crazy, man. Like, he could have been one of the greatest.
He could have been one of the greatest. And that's the thing, is this is a very tragic story, man. And, you know, and I don't want to like pin it on one thing, because I think this is a very violent individual who had a lot of bad things that happened to him that created this whole mess. But, you know, the common denominator here that I hear from this and other things is the CTE, is the brain trauma that is caused by playing football. And, you know, and there's so many suicides from it. So, you know, there's new studies and there's safer stuff now for them to play in. But, you know, I mean, it's a violent sport and we're Americans and we love fucking violence. So I don't think nothing's ever going to change necessarily. But if you ask me, I think a lot of it has to do with that, with the brain trauma.
Yeah, imagine the brain trauma of football players when the helmets were made out of leather, bro.
Dude, that's the thing, is how many psychopaths were out there after that.
We don't even know.
But
they were like playing with leather helmets.
Helmets. I mean, there's soldiers who get CTE from not being pushed around or bumped around from enemy. It's from the constant knocking of the gun or being in vehicles that bump around a lot. So just those situations cause CTE.
What CTE stands for?
I was about to look that up. What does CTE mean? Chronic traumatic and encephalopathy. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Encephalopathy. Chronic traumatic is it's a neurodisease. It's what Junior Seau had, and it's what eventually caused his suicide.
Awesome.
And there's several other players that have committed suicide from it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking.
What do you have?
Just simple, plain old American retardation.
History for fools with Maricon right here. Butch Escobar. Where are you going to be at next?
I'm going to be with you, bro. We're taking off to Indio, then Phoenix, and then I'm circling back into the Bay Area after that. So check out my Instagram feed for all
Also, man, if you like history in Spanish, I do a history other Spanish podcast called Nace una leyenda con Chespirito. It's a scripted podcast. I do all the narrating for Chespirito. 11 episodes, and man, you should go check it out. It's on iHeartMedia, Spotify, and yeah, go check it out. Also, thank you to E-Zone Flavors. E-Zone, he gave us these badass pens right here.
I got mine right here, bro.
Bam. Also, check out all my shows at FelipeWorld.com/tour. If you're watching this now, thank you for showing up to the Celebrity Theater.
Oh, rad.
And Indio.
Oh, that's right, because, they'll be watching it afterwards. All right, you guys, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.